Good evening, GRT. I am GRT Iceberg, and coming to you with not a stream this time, but an actual video of my point of view of Race B for the first night of the week. Probably one of my best races I think I've ever done of Road Atlanta in a car that is not the Meta. We're currently doing the sort of formation start at the beginning of the race. We'll be doing it in this sort of point of view just to get you a bit of perspective on what went around the track. There was a lot of opportunities that I definitely went to take. One of the first ones was here. There was a couple of bits where everyone kind of dominoed effect, and it was like all of a sudden someone went off right there onto the wall straight away. I think they might have got nudged at the beginning there. But I think it was actually a pretty decent race. I hit the grass there coming into the corner, which made me go wide. Kept out the sort of area where I don't get the penalty. Allowed the other 155 to go through. Let's see a lot of that. So like all the domino effect. That's one example of the sort of like the small punt there, but not intentional. Everyone sort of backed up into each other. I came up worse because I ended up losing a position and gave the speed boost and all my momentum to the 155. 155 did end up getting a half-second time penalty for cutting a corner earlier in the lap. But this is where I make up most of my time. Whether or they're all sort of braking to come up to it, I'm making the advantage to push towards, use the overall grip this car had. The 458 had excellent grip, had excellent speed. Very, very nice car to actually drive, actually. Probably one of the better Gr.4s I've actually driven. This is probably going to be the best moves I think I've done around this track as well. Where everyone was braking, there was a little bit of a punt there. Saw the gap, went to take it. Had so much more momentum over everybody. Coming around here, coming around this one, there was a slight rear tap on the he tapped my rear side, which did make the PD physics push me wide there, but overall pretty clean. 3 positions gained around that. Just had the momentum and just carried it. Now it's just chasing these guys. The battle, there's a 3-way battle, just trying to stay clean, stay within the track limits. Use what I know of what my advantage is, and just going around. While we're on them down the bank straight, this delivery that I'm rocking on the 458, I think that's pretty good. Got the game wheel on one side, got the Go Racing together with the orange background all right across the window there. Of course, where they are battling up ahead, I've had the chance to sort of catch up to the GTR. GTR definitely not the meta around this track. This time it's the WRX, which seems to be the car of choice. However, seeing how they're all had the Corvette come very close to my rear there, and then give me a nice little nudge to just to keep my momentum going through that. I had to brake hard. GTI ended up braking incredibly early, going into turn 4, heading through the S's into turn 8. That is what you call a line from the GTR. Of course, I gave a slight nudge to the Alpha. Wasn't expecting to brake so hard for the GTR to come back on track. Practically side by side, come down to first of the really tight, awkward right-handers towards the back straight. Got a slight nudge on the Corvette, but let me off lightly. This is where the 458 sort of lack of top end speed will get the most of it. Coming down the back straight, we are seeing the build up of my top end speed come into play, and great positioning on the apex as well to stop that sort of cut through. Of course, you don't want to compromise your own line coming out of these corners, because you'll end up with a poor poor run down this round the final corner down to the main straight. Right now, this is the position that I stay in for quite a while through the throughout the race. They do get quite close. They get within half a second. I think that's probably the closest they've ever that they end up being. But I think that's the most of it. It was very close, sort of like towards the backfield, sort of like third down to I think 13th down there. It's like it's practically just a long train. So I'm practically in third for most of this race. Pretty fun to actually do, in all honesty. Like I said at the beginning, and this was a very nice car to drive. Very predictable. Had a few understeer. Felt a bit under when I was doing the qualified laps. If you push too hard, yes, you will understeer. But I think if you're gentle with it, you do get the race pace out of it, which was very nice indeed. The Alpha did go a bit too hot, as you probably heard in the back there. There's almost the sun glares off the cars. Volvo is getting really twitchy over the bumps, I've noticed around here. Something to have a bit of fun with. Oh, a bit of flashy lights from the WRX at the back. With the WRX having a bit of a bumpy battle at the back there. Probably keep the camera like this for the time being while we go through the S's. Having their own little battle up ahead, which is causing them all to sort of bunch up into each other to keep themselves defending. There's about, what's that, 5 cars all at the back there. Another one's actually caught up to the battle in fourth place. I think the 155 by me is actually caught up a little bit because of my poor couple of corners. I think he's just had a good run in. Still up on my previous lap time. Fast lap being, of course, a 1:26.222. To be fair, I will have to say this is the final lap, which I thought I wasn't expecting. So of course, 1:26.8, fastest lap that I'll get this race. It's now just taking it easy, taking it home, got a decent building, and then I saw the yellow flags pop up come around here. I was like, what's happened over here? That guy ahead of me crashed. Let me go back a bit. Because this is what I don't understand. He just loses it. He gets a twitch and just loses, and just tries to fight and hits the wall, immediately getting a 1.5 second time penalty from that. And causing me to catch up massively. That 1.5 second time penalty coming up to the final part of this track, I would have got P3 comfortably. I would have been happy with P3. But because of this crash that he had at the beginning of the race, that's what just that twitch that person in front of me had ruined his chance of getting a P2 finish. I'm pretty sure after he slows down, I'm pretty sure he ends up finishing P4. But it's a bit unlucky. I think he's probably just I think he might have been pushing too hard, or it could have just been the sudden snap of oversteer that you do get in some of the four-wheel drive cars. But yeah, I think he actually comes down to P4. So going around the last bit of bend to finish the race in P2, 8 seconds behind P1, which to be fair wasn't that bad of a recovery considering that most halfway through the race was 12 seconds, so it's a bit more race. It would have been absolutely fine. That dude, person does finish P4, lost 2 places because of that 1.5 second time penalty and the crash that he ended up having to lose loads of time. But anyway, that was my version of the race, my point of view, and a little bit of commentary as well. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, just make sure you hit the like button and comment below. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next stream or in the next video.